G'day guys, I'm Rob Priestley. I'm a long-term resident, born and grew up here. What makes me qualified to be a councillor? I guess ultimately I'm only motivated by the public good, and I'm interested in trying to take our community forward. I've been here for a long time and managed to establish some great skills and networks. So day to day I work at Gooch Linen, my company, with my brother. We've managed to grow that from 20 to 320 staff. But it hasn't just been a business journey. We've learned a lot about the multicultural community and some of the disadvantaged in our community. And through that, I've really had this great opportunity to understand how things fit together here, both in business and socially. So I guess that's part of it. I've also done quite a bit in volunteering. So I've been chair of the board at Committee for Greater Shepparton and various other things. So I feel like I have a good broad sense of what the economic drivers are, what our challenges and opportunities are. So I'm keen to get in there and try and make a difference for everyone. G'day guys, 2030 emission targets, net zero it's a big job. And I'm interested in what council can do for its own emissions, but I'm far more interested in what our whole community can do, because really that's the big question. Right now we're burying hundreds of thousands of tonnes of waste. There's all sorts of carbon emissions from our energy grid. There's lots and lots of work to do. I think of these things about, I guess, don't let the great be the enemy of the good. So for me, I think waste to energy is a fantastic transition, and there's an enormous opportunity for our region here to do that, and do that as quickly as we can. I think there's more that we can do on solar and things like that, but really there's things that our community can do that others can't, and that is bioenergy. And bioenergy is just so fantastic because it provides a source of income to our farming community, and it provides carbon neutral energy. And that is my number one focus, if you like. I think there's a huge opportunity for our region there to be a powerhouse based around bioenergy. Thank you. Tom, great question. Is it worth us investing into our CBD given the decline in retail, and how do we have a vibrant CBD? Look, I don't think anybody's got an ironclad answer for this, but my views are a mixture of lots of complex stuff for 1 minute, but in the end, we need planning laws that allow for dense housing in our inner city areas, so that we are providing the opportunity for people to live close to service and amenity. There's a huge transition going on from retail stores to online, and that's going to continue apace. So our CBD needs to transition from retail to services and activities, and council has a role to facilitate more services and activities in there, like dining, like entertainment, etc. And in the end, is it worth persevering? And I absolutely think that it is. That as much as a CBD is only part of the retail or aesthetic of a community, it is what people assess us on, and it is also an important cultural piece in the decision making about where someone comes to live and stay and work and so forth. If you don't have a place that has a cultural identity that you fit with and you feel that you can go at it and enjoy, you're not going to want to participate in that community. So for me, preserving a CBD where people can go and have a good time and feel like they're part of community and they're connected is an essential part of a city. Lastly, on your quickly on your urban sprawl, look, it is a risk, it is an issue, but I'm greatly worried about ring fencing a city and limiting land supply and then driving up the cost of an affordability of housing. So there's an interplay there between having good planning for housing supply and urban sprawl. If you get the planning right for housing supply, then the urban sprawl is less of a risk. Thanks. Great question, Seb. So I'm no guru at public transport, but just some observations. At the moment, we seem to have a relatively low standard of public transport. We have large buses moving around infrequently and not connecting particularly well. If you're in the north of Mooroopna, it might take you an hour to get to where you want to go to in Shepparton. So I think that in the end, there's a role for council to play, taking some risk and experimenting with perhaps smaller and more affordable vehicles, doing a wider network more frequently, and seeing whether or not we can't improve the utilisation of our public transport network. So I'm interested to investigate that.